Everyday superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. All right, coming in with a bold one. She hates when you talk too much. She hates when you keep on talking. She hates the amount you talk. Real talk. What have I left as the note? I said, talking too much is submissive. There you go, bada bing, bada bum. Talking too much is submissive. Let's run through some quick ideas here. Yeah? When you go for a job interview, how much do they talk and how much do you talk? Yeah? They pose you a question and you respond. And then when you continue talking, they keep their mouth shut, look at you, and then you continue talking even more and you don't even know why you're doing it. You just feel the awkward energy and silence needs to be filled, so you continue talking until you shoot yourself in the foot and say something stupid. Now, let's say you go to a job interview and they're selling you the job and they're talking too much about their job and you hardly get a word in edgeways. That's desperation on their end. Why are you so desperate to sell this job? I mean, people don't acknowledge this, people don't understand this dynamic, but I'm teaching you this right now. This is the game. She hates when you talk too much. If you're there engaging with her, peppering her with questions, and she doesn't respond back with any intrigue, interest, or indication of interest via a question of her own, it's over, bro. It's dead. You can feel free to pursue until something works, but it's not an optimal position to be in. When you talk too much and have to sell yourself, what is left to be uncovered? Oh, I'm nonchalant, I'm a mysterious man. No, you're fucking not, because the moment you engage with a girl you find interesting, you feel the need to sell every part of who you are to her. I do this and watch this. Do you do this? Blah, 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 blah. Bro, that's a detestable man. That's a disgraceful man. That's a repulsive man. She hates that. She wants to inquire and engage with a man she finds interesting. Brother. Hi, what's your name? My name's this. Are you not going to ask for my name? Ha ha ha. No, because she don't give a fuck, mate. How disgraceful that you asked for her name and she doesn't ask for yours in return. Is that not mad? And I had somebody leave a comment not so long back just like, nah, bro, you're over analyzing it. It's not about the steps going into it. It's about being able to persuade her to blah, blah, blah. Bro! Who the fuck needs to persuade anyone? It should be in your entity, your energy, your movement, your masculine component that attracts the feminine. When the CEO walks into the workplace, how many words and how much expression and how much selling needs to be done to the subordinate? None, because they know their place, they know their position. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's the CEO's imperative to keep friendships with the subordinates to ensure that everything's good, but it's false and fake and nonsense, and you won't know anything about them unless they're insecure. If I need to tell you everything about myself on a date, out of desperation that you will like me, because that's what it is, you will perceive it as such. And if you don't perceive it as such, oddly, after that date, if not the next date, you're going to think, I'm a bit bored of him and I don't know why. And do you know why you're bored? Because there's nothing left to uncover. There's nothing to stimulate the imagination. You're not going to go home thinking about the Netflix programs I enjoy watching unless you're boring as fuck anyway and of such a low value that you deem me as someone valuable to you. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it's always dynamic, right? But if you want to appeal to a lady who you deem of a adequate value in the social marketplace, which other men might deem valuable in the social marketplace, then you need to portray yourself, if not be a man of a value that is above and beyond her position, because she dates upwards. She doesn't date along and she doesn't date down. And if she dates along momentarily, you best believe you're getting cheated on by the man who is upwards. That's hypergamy. That's a woman's biological protocol, right? For self-preservation and movement in life. Yeah, ask her a question. Hear out her answer. Make a statement. Have her talk. Arguably, a statement is way more powerful than a question, given that you target it to the appropriate place, which is rarely touched. That's a moonstone ring on that finger, you know? Yeah, it is the, I got this off of my nana, her favourite blah was blah, blah, blah. How did you know that? You know what? No one's ever mentioned that before. As opposed to, oh, where did you get that ring from? Yeah, it's a question, it'll get an answer, but you're asking for validation in a response, as opposed to making a statement. She can choose whether she does or doesn't answer. But the way you targeted it, the way you exposed your knowledge and demonstrated your value and how you were aligned and alike, and if she did not know what gemstone was on her finger, you have taught her like the teacher, and now she is the student. She is in submissive position, quite frankly, through your brief yet bold statement. You're the father figure now. You're teaching, you're educating, you're elevating. You're not pedestalizing. But through her reaction in bouncing to you a question, asking, how did you know that? And now she is indicating interest in you because she is fascinated in who you are and what you know and why you know things. You can respond in such a manner as to where you just say, you know what, I'm just fascinated in this and that, blah, 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 blah. But if you had to respond with 1,000 different ways and take her on a journey through your life and who you are to the point where you've uncovered everything out of a simple question as to why you know something about a particular gemstone, the game's dead and over. As I've said, it's submissive to have to do so because in over speaking, you are over qualifying. And when you are qualifying yourself, you are asking to be worthy of that other person. It should be the vice versa. Oh, well, it's 2025 and everybody's equal and can't we just bloody... No, biology is not equal. Biology has its highs and lows, and yes, there is a counterbalance, but we are both good and we both observe different things in our own different ways. Sorry to break that to you, alright? Society tells you no because society doesn't want you breeding, and society wants you confused, and society wants you in a position where everything you are told is nonsense and you believe it, right? You don't take that route. You have to take the politically incorrect route of understanding biological reality. And she wants to qualify herself to you because in qualifying herself to you indirectly, she is craving your attention and give her what she wants. Then she will be happy when she sleeps with you because she's got what she wants and what she was pursuing the entire time, as opposed to being negotiated to the bedroom by some idiot who has to tell her this, that and everything and get used and abused by her, or cheated on in 3 weeks' time from Chad, who doesn't say a fucking word because he knows his value. If anything, he says shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear from you and I'm not speaking to you. And she's like, oh my god, nobody ever talks to me like that. He doesn't even care about me. What more needs to be said? I'm signing out on that one. Peace. Click like and subscribe. Goodbye.